Good morning or afternoon, everyone. Happy Tuesday. We are ready for our live session together. Who's new, doesn't know me maybe, but who joins us regularly knows me because we're here almost every Tuesday. For everyone who's new, hi and welcome. I'm Sylvia, and today we're going to see how to get consistent and how to complete your visual documentation using magicplan. So I will give you guys some minutes or seconds slash minutes so you can join me during this live. Little note, if you have any questions about photos, videos, 360 images, or everything that has to do with the documentation, let us know in the comments. Ben is also connected, so he can answer your comments right away. You don't have to wait for me to see you writing. And anything else that I'm forgetting? No, I think we're good to go. Let me know if there are technical problems. You don't hear me, you don't see me, but I think that everything is working fine. So why is it important to get a documentation that's consistent and that everyone is able to understand? First of all, let's start with the main issue of our life, right? Not only working, we want to make life easier. So it's nice if everything works smoothly. So what are our main goals on a daily work, our daily life? We wake up, and first thing I would say, we want to eliminate miscommunication from field tech to the office, right? So we want to have a documentation that's precise and understandable, and everyone sees the exact same things. Because I'm not saying, oh yeah, we had like some water damages that were not too bad, and then someone else goes on site and the water damages are really bad. So we take everything, we document everything, so everyone has the exact same information in the exact same moment. When your tech field, your technician, your project manager takes photos, videos, 360 images, the person in the office also sees the exact same things. Other important point, other, let's say, challenge that we have or a goal that we want to reach is to use less tools. Not everyone is tech savvy. Not everyone doesn't want to travel with phones and devices and stuff, because we want to make life easier. So we talk to you guys, and the incredible amount of devices, like in, let's say, the average of tools that you guys used before using magicplan was around 6 different tools, which is a lot, right? So we want to have everything inside our app. We're going to start in 3 seconds. So we will see together how to create your documentation. Then, other important point, professional estimates start with visual documentation. So you want to have everything wrapped up and you're good to go. So there will be no back and forth. It's still communication, right? So we all know we want to simplify everything that can be easier. Last 2 points, in my opinion. We want to collect all the info, as we mentioned, yes, and very important, we don't want to have delays. So no more back and forth, going back on site 2, 3 more times, and we will be ready to deliver our project, our documentation faster, and get the approval faster, right? None of us wants to waste time. And last but not least, because it's very important, we are still talking about people. So once we have a happy client, that's the key. So we want to go on site to take care of damages after, for example, a cat event. So we are just going to a place where there has been, let's say, an emotional situation, right? The homeowner doesn't want to look at a project manager, a technician that looks unsure, or someone that's like, yes, I'm going to take some pictures and I'm going to come back because I don't know what's happening here. That doesn't look professional. I talked to people that had an experience like this. So You don't just want to look professional, you want to be professional and trustworthy, because we're talking to people. We have to, let's say, it's our daily life, right? No matter if AI, technology, whatever, we want to be like a good doctor to fix the damage, be there, be quick, and have a happy client, right? So now that we did this quick intro and that everyone is connected, we can start sharing my screen. If you download the app, you will have it empty if you never used the magicplan app before. But you see that I already have some projects here. I would say that we can start with a blank project, and we can add some visual documentation together. Okay, so let's start here with a new project. I want to show you one important thing. I go back, because we know that sometimes we go to places where we have no connection, or maybe not everything is working fine, right, technology wise. So we can do one thing. Once we create our blank project, for example, before going on site in the office, we can tap on the three little dots and mark the project as favorite. As you can see on my screen, there's the additional info, make available offline. So once you mark your project as favorite, no matter where you go, take photos, videos, and everything will be saved. And once you're back online, everything will be synced with the cloud. So it's an important note, and it's something that you should know if you didn't know. Okay, now I'm gonna open my project here. On the left side, you have the infos. Then let's start with the photo section. Okay, so we can add something. If you're on site, you're maybe outside the building and you want to start with the main photo of your property, for example, you can select camera. Now I'm going to select a photo from the library. Let's take this one. Okay, and we save it. So this is like our main photo. Okay, it has been saved on this project, as you can see down there. Then I can go ahead and add more photos. For example, now I'm just moving a bit back, but you should still see me. Let's select camera. I'm pretending that here we have some water damages, right? So I mark them here like this. So I can take a photo of our water damages, and I can also take more photos. I could also change and say, okay, let's record a video. Let's say here, okay, this is the affected area. We have some water damages in here, and we just need to check also the walls, because we are not sure if there are also major damages. Okay, and I can stop. I go to next. And now I just recorded a quick video, but you can record up to 5 minutes and as many videos as you want. Right now, I want it to be a bit quicker. So we have the photo here, the video here. Okay, we save them, as you can see in here. Now, maybe you would also like to add something like a sketch of your property. I know that some of you guys start with the sketch, some of you guys start like this with property, photos, and then the sketch. So let's do it like this and add a, let's say, a sketch of our plan of our floor here. Let's insert a room. I will select the add a square room, because last week we scanned the entire office and we saw something different. But let's do like this with the squared room, like a study, right? Now let me just close the info for a sec. Here I can insert my door. Let me say here, a regular door. Now, if I would like to change the measurement here, I could also grab a Bluetooth laser meter. Okay, I'm going to, I have it here just in case you see. It's just a little laser that I normally like to use. I will tap on the blue number. Let me redo it, because I do things automatically sometimes, but I know you guys need to see it. So we tap on the blue number that we want to edit. We tap on laser. Okay, my little laser is connected, which is fine. Now I'm gonna move against the wall just behind you. If you see me disappearing 1 sec, I'm not gone. And I measure my room. Okay, so if everything is fine, perfect. My room changed, and this works on every device. Okay, so just in case you have a device that does not support LiDAR, you can do it like this. I wanted to show it to you so you also have a different idea on how to do. Okay, now we have our study. We have here our other photos. Maybe we also want to take a photo now because we now have the sketch additionally to our visual elements that we had before. So let's take another photo with camera. Why am I telling you this? Because now you can decide how precise you want to be, where to attach the photo. Okay, so you have here project, or we want to go more in depth inside the sketch. So we select the ground floor, and in this case, we just have a room. But if we would have more rooms, maybe we also want to go inside the specific room. And let's take the photo a bit in a different angle so they're not all the same. Okay, so I take the photo like this, and I tap on next. Okay, now let's see one thing. If we would like to edit the photo, first of all, one thing that I didn't mention before, but you probably noticed, is that my photo here has the timestamp, right? We will take one more photo so I can show you, in case you don't see the timestamp on your device, how to simply activate it. Okay, but if we would like to edit our photo and hide sensitive data, faces, something that doesn't really need to be shown, we can tap on edit, give it a sec. Okay, and we can use redact to hide sensitive information. Okay, in this case, we can hide just a space here. And the other way around, if we have something important that we want to highlight on our picture, we select annotate, and we can say, look, we can also change the color if we want. Let's make it purple. So we can say, look, here we have our damages. Okay, now it's like this, but imagine you have your water damage. Could be something like that. And we tap on done. Okay, you could also add, like fine tune the image. You could add more contrast, less contrast, or add something like a description, whatever you like, right? Just take a look. It's a simple editing tool that you have. We save it. Okay, now let me take another photo. We can say, okay, add camera. And here on the top right, you have like a little wheel for the settings, and you can see what's showing or what's hidden. If this is hidden, you see that the timestamp is not appearing. If you want it, you just activate this option. If you want something else, for example, GPS coordinates, you can also activate them, but it's up to you. I'm leaving the GPS coordinates off, just leaving the timestamp. Okay, perfect. Now, okay, I see that you guys have no questions at the moment, so perfect, everything fine. If you want, you can also add some photos, and not only regular photos, but we could also use a 360 camera. Let me put it here so you can see it. I put it in front of me. Doesn't matter if it hides me a bit, maybe I move a bit on the side. Okay, so 360 photos are perfect if you want to capture all the details from the ceiling to the floor and everything that's all around you. Okay, great idea if you want to show people exactly what you're seeing in that specific room, because the let's say flat or 2D photos show an angle, a side, but the 360 image shows everything. So it's more inclusive, let's say. Let's tap on the plus. So let's go back, because Sylvia does everything automatically. So I select the room. Okay, I open the info section. I tap on photos and notes, and we tap on the plus. We select camera. Now we have the option 360. Let me turn on my camera. I let the camera off and I also did as if I never used the camera before. Okay, so you can see a bit of my screen down here. Now let's tap on 360 and let's connect the camera. Okay, this is a Ricoh camera. You can also use an Insta360, absolutely up to you. We add the serial number that we have under the camera. So let me tap it here quickly. 1010, 54, and 15. Done. Connect. Join. Because the camera has like its own Wi-Fi line, so to say. Give it a sec. That it's connecting here. Okay, perfect. So start using Theta X. Now, if you want, now I'm not leaving the room because I have the cables and everything, but if you don't want to be in your picture, you just exit the room and you're not being present in while the camera is recording the photo. Okay, now I just move away a bit and I tap on the white dot on my screen, so I don't have to do anything with the camera. Okay, you probably heard this bleep noise, which means that the camera took the photo. I can also turn it off now because we took the photo and so it disconnects normally. Let's do next. Here we have our picture. If we tap on play, we can see everything, right? From the ceiling to the sides and here the bottom of my table. Okay, let's close it and save all. Also in this case, even if it's a 360 image, let me move the camera a bit farther away so you can see me a bit better. You can also edit your photo. Okay, so you would open your picture and you would say edit from the top menu. We say, oh, okay, there's a person here. We don't want to maybe see or show the face. We select reduct and boom, we hide myself in this case. Maybe we want to also hide here the computer and we tap on done. Okay, so also those editings will be applied to the 360 image, right? So you will see everything apart from those points that you don't want to show or that you want to highlight the other way around. Okay, perfect. Because I know that there are a lot of features and maybe not everyone tried everything. So now you see that what's possible, right? If you would like to add photos directly from the editor, so from here and not from the plus in the photo section, you can also do it. It's still working as usual. So you could select your room or floor, depending. You can tap on insert object and you can add the photo object from the annotations. Let me find it here. And you can say, look, here we have the water damages. Okay, and then you can add a photo directly of the damage. Let's say here, boom. Okay, next, save all. So you can really be as detailed as you want. If you would like, you can also add, create a form if you want to fill in more information for your damage. Maybe we'll see this in a separate live because otherwise it's a bit too much. It's too many information for one live session. But if you also create a form, you can also decide to add more information that every field technician has to fill in. They're all the same for everyone because you have a person in the office creating the form. The form applies in the workspace for everyone. It's the same and people have to fill it in. And you can also decide to add photos in there as an extra documentation, for example. But if you're just starting or you want to use the app like this, you don't really want to create extra forms, it's also fine. It's also working. You can export your project from the top right here with these two arrows and the let's say the two pieces of paper, the papers. Yeah, it's the symbol, okay, to export your floor plan, your information. You can export everything as a report PDF. You can check if you're happy with your settings in here, right? You can personalize your document. Just take a look at it. If you generate a report PDF and you're happy with that, it's fine. Otherwise, you go inside the settings and you can edit it as many times as you want and generate a new PDF. Now, let's generate a PDF for this one. Let's proceed. Give it a sec because it needs a couple of seconds more once we're using it live normally. When I'm offline, it's always quicker. But it's like this. Perfect. So we're here. Here we go. Now we have our project, right? We have some photos listed. Now we have our main property in there. We have our damaged area. Okay, so you have everything documented here. This was our short video that we took. If you tap on it, or everyone that gets the PDF or you share the PDF with can tap on the play button and can play the video or the 360 image, right? You see that it's working. And let me go out from here. Then we have here the room with the damages. Here we also have our 360 image here, okay? And all information that we added in there. And then we also have the photo in here a bit bigger. It depends on the settings that you have on your PDF, right? So if you do the same thing and your PDF looks different than mine, it's just a matter of settings. You can play around with that, okay? Good. Now, we can also take a look at something important, because if you wouldn't have the sketch in here, for example, right? You don't want to really export a report PDF where you don't have the sketch. You don't really need it. So you can also go here on See All photo section and just export all the visual documentation that you need from here. Okay, so you can export a web gallery, right? You give it a title, a description if you want. You can also type the description type. You can also dictate the description by voice. You see there's the little mic, and you can decide how to set it up, show date, time created, show created by, show captions, or if you want to hide something, and you publish to the web, so you have your web gallery. Or the other way around, you want a regular PDF, perfect, it also works. Then you can go in here and you add also personalization, right? Gallery title, the description if you want. Same thing here, you can decide the page size and rows per sheet, right? Can be 2, 3, 4. And then you have also some other settings and you generate your PDF. I'm not generating them because it takes a bit of time. It takes some seconds every time. So take a look. Also, if you never used it, you can also try it in the free version of the app. It's absolutely fine. Everything is working. And once you have 360 images attached to your project, you have 360 tours that can be exported also as an extra thing. I also did a video. You also have a recorded video exactly about the 360 tours here on our YouTube channel here. If you're following the live on our YouTube channel here on our YouTube channel, if you're following from another channel, go to YouTube. There's the other video about these features specifically. And one other important thing, if you want to indicate the damaged area on your floor plan in the room where you have water damages, fire damages, any kind of damage that needs to be recorded, if you select the room, you see that there's an info called Add New Area. You can do that from here. So you can indicate where you have a damaged area on the floor. But now I just leave it square, but you can also shape it if you like, right? Let's do done. We can also change the color. Let's make it blue. It gives a better idea of a water damaged area. And you can also add it on the wall. Same thing. I selected the wall. add new area, and I say, look, the water damage, in my case, it's just maybe here. We'll leave it like this because we don't know if also the entire wall is affected perhaps. So we tap on done, and you see that we have, maybe let's do it in orange, so we have two completely different colors, okay? Like this. Now we have affected area 1 that can be renamed as affected area floor, and affected area 2 could be affected area wall. And once you export the report PDF, you have your visual documentation with an additional, like an additional information that's really, really precise for everyone. So we can export also the files directly from here, just to take a look together. Let's wait a sec. Okay, let's see. Generating. If you try it on your device, you will see that it's like this. If you would see how many cables are connected here, you would see, okay, why it takes some time. Okay, now you see here, we saw the photos before, but we also added the affected areas here, okay? So you can export your PDF and you have everything detailed, and you can add all the visual information that you need. If you export a PDF, it's fine. You can also, if you prefer, export an ESX file directly, and everything that you add, the sketch, the photos, the affected areas, which are called reference blocks in Xactimate, everything will be taken over to Xactimate also. So you will generate just your ESX files, everything is in it, and then you can go ahead and create your estimate. I know that you probably also noticed the scope of work section here. We will talk about it once we're ready, but we will basically also have the line items in there, so you can also export everything right away. But we will see it in another live video, I would say. We made it in 30 minutes to see the documentation part of magicplan. You guys, let me know if you have any questions, comments in the meantime. Let me double check in here. Okay, no, I see no questions because I have to double check. Not all the questions would appear together. I have to check different pages. Okay, you guys, please feel free to let us know if you have any doubts. We also have the magicplan community. If you're not part of it, you can join us at community.magicplan.app. It's down here or up here, depending if you're watching the video in the vertical or horizontal direction. And you can also ask us any questions, other users. You can ask whatever you want, or if you maybe found out a perfect, how can I say? I wanted to say workaround, but I wanted to say workflow. That's the word that I was looking for. If you found a perfect workflow for your visual documentation and how you do it with magicplan, you can also share it with other users. You're more than welcome. I see that you guys sometimes share some tips and tricks. That's awesome. And if you want to suggest any features, if you would like us to add anything, like beautiful example, the timestamp on photos. You guys ask for it and we edit it. So if you have anything that comes to your mind, this is the link, magicplan.canny.io/feature-requests, and you can ask us anything. We always take a look at your requests and we consider them all. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for your time. I hope that this section together was useful and that it made something clear that you maybe didn't try to use yet. You can let me know also in the comment under the live video. And as I always say, at the end of our videos, I wish you a beautiful morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on the time zone where you are. Bye.